You see that right there is quite terrifyingly all I realistically need to live off. Good morning. Today is a Friday, because it never feels like a Friday, so I never know what it is. But yeah, today is a Friday and I am off to work, running a bit late, so I got a taxi. So I made most of the taxi by packing up some stuff I can't carry. And so I've started packing up to move in with Andrew. I'm so excited. I am so excited. I have lived with friends before, but it was in this house and I grew up in this house, so kind of never felt like I was moving out. So I am excited about that. But yeah, inside there is just a basic amount of clothes, my lighting system, which is bigger than the amount of clothes I realistically need to wear, and my tripod, and minus my camera, and some toiletries, which I do need here right now. That pretty much is my life, filming and clothes. And clothes aren't a big part of my life, it's just an essential part. So yeah, there we go. So I'm in the shop now, and Andrew had already done a couple of comic trade-ins, and then the moment I came in, I did another one. We are just never, look at this, I am like boxed in. Look, I have to like shuffle. Why
can't people buy comics?
Yeah, why can't you just buy comics now? So I just dragged the boys out to go to one of my favourite places, which is Big Bowl in Liverpool, and I haven't been here in ages, and we have ordered loads of food. Nom 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 nom. How's your Friday night going, Andrew?
It's not quite the wet wild adventure I was hoping for.
Well, as always, I forgot to do a sign off for this vlog. Basically, Andrew's washing machine broke while I was staying over. Luckily, the landlord, owns the washing machine, so he has to fix it. Yay! But when that happens, there's another story. There is a story that I want to tell, though. And I didn't record it because, honestly, I'd feel like an arsehole if I did. I'd think people were thinking I was filming it for views or to laugh at this person, and that was not the case. As we went to Big Bowl, we were walking back, and we bumped into a man who I'd actually seen earlier that day walking the street. He was actually dressed what you would appear to be a homeless person. He was wearing very rough clothes, he had a very long beard, and he was holding a carrier bag full of alcohol. And when we walked past, he went, "Excuse me, sir, excuse me, can I just ask you a question?" And you get this a lot in Liverpool, and I'd already been really upset because as we were walking around town, I'd seen more homeless people that I am used to in Liverpool, and as everyone who watches this channel knows, that homelessness is something I take very seriously, because as I've grown up struggling in poverty and then struggling with a business that just about makes enough money, I've always been very close to being homeless. They always say you're 2 paychecks away from being homeless. I am very much that person. I'm very much living hand to mouth every single month. And it angers me that someone can live on the streets. It's just not right. It's not right. And it's not right that, especially in the north, it is tripled in the last, I think it's 5 years or 4 years, but it's tripled a lot, and it's grown exponentially, and it's not right. And especially as the weather gets colder, it affects me more, and I always give them money. Because, and I don't care whether you say, oh, they're just a scam, or they're going to spend it on alcohol or drugs. I don't care. If you are homeless, if you are genuinely homeless and living on the streets, and you spend the money on alcohol or drugs, fair enough. If that is your only vice to take you away from the reality that you live in, who am I to judge you? And if you're a scam, I wish you weren't, because it stops people helping the people who genuinely in need. But I'd rather give £1 to someone who is a scam artist than not give £1 to someone who genuinely needs it. And that's my view on it. So, tangent. But yeah, so this man, who I assumed was homeless, said, "Excuse me, sir, can I stop you for a second? Can we ask you questions?" And he was just talking to us. And I will always stop and talk to anyone who wants to talk to me. One, because I'm too rude. Like, if someone who's just, like, trying to sell me something, I'll say, no, I'm sorry, I'm busy. But he just wanted to talk. And what human doesn't want that? So we stopped and we talked to him, and he said, "I have said some poetry. I've written some poetry. Could I tell you the poetry?" And I went, "Of course you can." And expecting it to be nothing, in all fairness, he started saying something I actually genuinely was quite moved by. And a part of me did want to record it so you could see this, but I didn't. And he told us this poetry, and I applauded him. I was like, that's really good. And he couldn't stop telling us other poetry. And he was so polite, he was so nice. And he turned around to me, and he looked at me, and he had tears in his eyes, and he went, you genuinely like what I say, don't you? And I went, yeah, it's really good. And it made me happy. And I want to say that that was my good deed for the day, but I'd like to think that most humans would give the time to speak to other humans. I gave him the time of day, and I think that's what he appreciated the most. And he was just a really nice person. He may have been intoxicated. He may have had certain mental problems that maybe the normal person doesn't suffer from. But who are we to judge? And he was lovely, and he was such a positive on my day. And he actually made me feel a lot better, because he went, I'm going to go home and I'm going to watch a film. I'm going to watch Shawshank Redemption, and I'm going to think about the poems that I've said to you. And it made me feel so good that I stopped and spoke to this man who most people may have possibly been afraid to speak to. And I'm not saying start going to talk to strangers, because there is a level of safety that you need to be in, but I think we should stop judging people from just straight away, and if they don't seem the norm, to just avoid them, because I could genuinely see the positive effect that stopping to talk to him had on him, and listening to him and hearing this beautiful poetry that he came out with had a positive effect on me. So I thank you, Mr. Poetry Man, whoever you are. Thank you. You made my day. And there's your homework for the day. Next time someone wants to speak to you, as long as you feel safe, maybe stop and give a couple of minutes of your day and speak to them back. And I will see you tomorrow.